a week from now, what are we going to be talking about, Mike? What are we going to be talking about? I mean, this is getting dangerous. What do you think is going to happen? What's going to happen?
We're losing, two things. Terrorism is one, right?
Yep.
But I have to warn everybody right now. This is we're losing our magnetic field.
Okay.
Our magnetic field is about to drop to 10%. Do you know what happens at 10%?
No.
Well, let me put it to you this way. There are several events in history about 200 to 400 years apart. The magnetosphere in certain areas dropped to 10% and caused a mass extinction event in certain areas.
What? So we're on the brink of extinction if we're not careful?
Well, you're going to have certain places where life won't be sustained. Our Earth is starting its cycle again of changing, magnetically changing, which means we're about to go through a flux period where everything is out of order. It's like absolute chaos magnetically, right? Somebody could look at their compass and have 4 north poles.
Oh my Lord!
Chaos. Here's the bad part though. This is how you know leadership knows. They're going to abruptly. People are going to start hearing about GPS and Air Force Command abruptly.
Okay.
Abruptly, which means because we have GPS satellites up there, the Air Force, those are Air Force satellites, by the way. GPS belongs to the Air Force, or we could say Space Command. And so they have to protect those GPS satellites, right? The whole world uses the USA's GPS satellites, just so everybody knows this. That means the enemy's weapons are guided by Air Force equipment, just so everybody knows that.
Wow.
Right? Everybody needs to know that. So that's the way that's working, but we're losing the magnetosphere, right? Why? Because there's an anomaly. Of course, the sun is about to flip its poles, right? Consequently, scientists do not know. They have no idea why the sun does this, right? But anybody who believes in a binary system, they do understand it, which is why it has an average 11-year cycle. It's not precise, anywhere between 9 and 11 years. The sun goes through its maximums and its minimums, but its magnetic shifting has begun. But this time it's going to take the Earth with it. So we have hit a chaotic region now through volcanic eruption. All that material has iron in it. Iron orientates based on the magnetic poles, right? So this is how they can tell how many times we flipped our poles here on Earth through, the rock, the strata. They can tell which way iron has been orientated. They've noticed some small areas where about every 200 years something is taking place. That process has started, and one of the larger flipping processes has begun. Now, this is magnetic, but what it does mean is that once we are in this chaotic mode with the magnetosphere, right, where it's not oriented, or most of that radiation is going to do us damage. For example, fastball from, see if somebody can correct me later, but I believe it was from 1880 to 1950. The sun and global warming, those track lines were exact, right?
Yes.
So the sun was causing global warming, but something happened in the 1950s, and the solar activity went down, and the global warming trend went up. They separated. Right? Well, something extraordinary happened in 1950. And so we've been on that track ever since, which lets you know they know where global warming is coming from. And it started in the 1950s, right? The separation of the trends started in 1950. The sun is responsible for, I believe, 42% of global warming.
Wow.
They're not telling the truth, but the data is still on the internet, right? Everybody knows how to use Google to start putting the dates in there, right? When you do your searches, cancel out all the dates that deal with modern day stuff. Go back to the old dates before all that's scrubbed, so you can get some good data, because all that's going to be gone shortly.
Mike, also, just one last question here. We are approaching the 40-day mark. And I'm not holding you to the exact day, but I'm just asking. We're right about that 40-day mark, I think, by tomorrow or so, the next few days.
Tomorrow's the eve of that. Tomorrow.
Okay.
That's the eve of it.
So
it actually closes out the 30th. And
so It's something.
Next time we talk, I'm going to tell you what that is.
Okay, that's fair. Everybody be here next week, guys, and we'll know what it is. But as Mike just said, we're on the eve of it, and there's something about to happen. He'll tell us what that is next time.